Gibbons are unfairly known as lesser apes compared to their ape cousins because they are so much smaller. And in fact, a very common misconception is that they're monkeys, when in fact they actually are part of the ape family. And I think it's an unfair characterization to call them lesser apes because they're swift and graceful, and I would argue unique compared to their ape counterparts. They have a much softer and gentler look to them, and although they're less foreboding in size, they are cute as fuck. I mean, just look at them. Gibbons live in subtropical and tropical rainforests from eastern Bangladesh to northeast India to southern China and Indonesia. Unlike other apes, they have multiples of species, as much as 20 in fact, and they share up to 96% of their DNA with us. Gibbons also have long hands and feet with a deep cleft between the first and second digits of their hands. Their fur is usually black, grey or brownish, often with white markings on the hands, feet and face. Some species such as the Simong have an enlarged throat sac which inflates and serves as a resonating chamber when the animals call. All gibbons have what's called ischial callicities, which I butchered, which is an area of thickened skin on the buttocks that allow them to sit in trees more comfortably. Their height and size kind of vary depending on the species. For example, large gibbon weighs that range between 4.4 to 7.6 kilos with a height between 42 and 59 centimeters. White-cheeked gibbons average around 5.6 to 5.8 kilos with a height ranging between 46 to 64 centimeters, whereas Simiangs range between 10.7 to 11.9 kilograms with a height of 74 to 89 centimeters. Generally speaking, they tend to live up to 30 years in the wild, and in captivity in some cases can live up until the age of 50. A really interesting fact about one particular species of gibbon called the white-cheeked gibbon is that their appearance changes based on their age and sex. All infants are initially a beige colour, but by the time they reach to about a year to a year and a half years old, their coats actually become more black with white cheek patches. Now at sexual maturity, which is around 5 to 7 years old, males will remain black and females will actually turn back to a beige colour again. So this actually makes it quite easy for us to differentiate between male and females in this particular species of gibbons, because males will always be black and females will always stay that beige colour. Now, like all primates, gibbons are social animals. They are fiercely territorial and defend their territories with vigorous visual and vocal displays. Male and females have distinct vocal displays, and its sound varies from species to species. Gibbons are often referred to as a song because of the way they modulate their pitch. Gibbons actually sing alone and in duets, and they start each day by singing at sunrise. They live in family groups which consist of a male and female pair along with the offspring, which of course is very similar to us humans. Another thing unique to gibbons compared to their ape cousins is that they are monogamous and in most cases have a mate for life. Gibbons use social grooming to solidify social relationships and only show aggression when disputing over territory or in some cases food. When it comes to mating, males initiate this more so than females. Some species of gibbon use a dance to initiate to the other that they are interested. In other cases, if the female is willing to mate, she bends forward in acceptance. If the female is unwilling, she ignores the male or leaves the area. Mothers tend to be a primary caregivers of their young and have 1 to 2 babies every 2 or 3 years. Babies remain dependent on their mother for 2 years. Gibbons are famous for their swift and graceful movements as they swing through trees. The method of locomotion is called brachytean. This way of moving is what makes them the fastest of all apes, traveling at a speed of 34 miles per hour. They spend the majority of their time in the treetops. Their ball and socket wrist joints allowed them to have the speed and accuracy when swinging through the trees. The downside to this is quite frequently hazards can occur when a branch breaks or a hand slips, and researchers estimate that the majority of gibbons have suffered some sort of bone fracture 1 or 2 times throughout their lifetimes. They also sleep on the branches of tall trees with wide trunks and crowns, and unlike other types of apes like gorillas or chimps, they do not create nests. When it comes to their diet, gibbon diets are 60% fruit, but they also eat twigs, leaves, insects, flowers, and in some cases bird eggs. Early Chinese writers viewed the noble gibbons gracefully moving in high in the treetops as the gentlemen of the forest. Generally speaking, gibbons seem to lack high cognitive abilities and self-awareness compared to that of their cousins, but in their defense, there aren't no fools either. Because gibbons spend the majority of their time in the trees, they are not in any means easy prey, but they do have a number of predators which include leopard, big birds and snakes. In most cases, gibbons aren't a threat to humans and generally would run away then confront us, but gibbons who are familiar with humans tend to be friendly with us, which is the exact opposite of a chimp. Unfortunately, just like their cousins, gibbons are endangered across all 20 of their species. In fact, one species of gibbon called the Hainan gibbon has only estimated to have 37 individuals left in the southern tip of China. Habitat loss is very common due to forest destruction and fragmentation, which is a huge threat to the survival of wild gibbons. Intentionally set fires and loggings result in persistent fire loss due to the conversion of forest habitats to agriculture and also to the expansion of commercial palm oil plantations, and these actively destroy the habitat of gibbons. Like with the other great apes, hunting is another big issue, both for consumption and in some cases used in local medicine. The most heartbreaking of all, though, is the legal pet trade that is rampant throughout Southeast Asia. And horribly enough as well, the way they get young gibbons is to kill the mothers, and in some cases, when the mother is killed, the infant can be killed too. Sadly, most tourists that come across gibbons don't understand it's a result of the illegal pet trade, and it can give people the impression that these animals aren't wild and are appropriate pets, and it also encourages people to continue in the pet trade because they can make money off showing people their pet gibbons. Now, the best way to help is to preserve their remaining habitat. Better implementation of the protection laws needs to be enforced and stricter convictions need to be upheld. And as per usual, it's us humans that cause the most damage because we are the most evil of all. Gibbons may not be as violent as chimps or foreboding like gorillas, but in my book they are super impressive and super majestic. Their softer nature and size makes them cuter, but that doesn't mean that they don't have any of my respect and admiration. I really hope we do more to prevent these little guys from being wiped out from the planet forever, as well as all the other big apes. That's it guys, thanks so much for watching. As always, please like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below if there's anything about the gibbons that I have not mentioned, because like all the other videos I've done on the apes, I love to learn things about them, and if I missed anything I'd love to know. If you're interested, I have a playlist of all the ape videos I've done, which I'll include in the description below, so please check it out if you haven't seen it. I've covered across all the great apes now, and every single one I've done, I've found them all to be beautiful, majestic, and unfortunately, like with all of the apes, including the gibbons, it's us that are destroying their habitat and creating situations where they're nearly going extinct. But that's it guys, thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.